Hey guys, welcome back to Selenium with Java September 2023 batch online training session 2. In today's session, I will cover what are the different operations you can perform on images, checkbox, radio button, drop down box, and how you can scroll down or scroll up a web page, and the complete study of XML path or Xpath and CSS selector. So before starting with images, I told right there are 8 element locator. So I have covered mostly. So I think three things is pending. One is called tag name, then XPath and CSS which will be covering anyway. So let's see how we can deal with the tag name, how we can identify some like element with the help of the tag name, and how we can right uh, interact. So we'll be creating a new class session 2 for today's session. Okay, so I will copy the same line of code because that is the setup part, so no need to change anything. And here maybe I will refer a link called Google where lot of link is there. You could see. Always try to keep the HTTPS part. So just open the link and copy that URL and paste it here. Otherwise, in case you are not giving the HTTPS or HTTP part, it will not work. So you could see in the Google there are a lot of link available, right? This is the link, but here Selenium will not understand the other language. Okay, it might be, but right now when I do not work in the other language, only you have work in the English language. So other language link also will be displayed, but that it will be question mark because not able to understand Bangla, Uriya, right, Hindi, all this stuff. It will able to understand all the English related part. So here lot of link, right? India, about advertising, business, search, privacy, term, Gmail, images, all these link will be there. So I want to get all the links. So how it is possible? So your maybe your suppose say your task is that find all the link present in on a web page, right? That might be your task. So can you easily you can do manually, but in case it's 1000 link and your task is that like give me the total count how many link is present. So can you give me? But automation will give me in quick span of time. Okay. So how can I do? So I already opening the page here. Then if I go with like driver dot, there is a method called file and find elements. I told yesterday, right? Find element will give you lots of element. It is not a unique element. Here you could see it is coming from WebDriver interface, and the return type is list of web element, right? And I will be using by dot tag name. What is the tag name for link? It will be a anchor link a. Okay, I can validate you, and it will be storing in list of web element, right? Because it is return type is list of web element, list of web element. Okay, and I can create something variable called say links equal to like that, and you could see some error message is coming. So I can just import the web element interface list from java.util.package, and then web element also from the word.open selenium. So in case you mouse over, press F12 button, and in case mouse it hover, right, the inspector element to any link, right, you could see it is starting with anchor link, that is called tag name, and this is class, right? So this part might work with the class. You could see gb underscore y, so there is no space available, so this particular link might work with the class name as well. In case there is a space available, so it will not work. That's the problem in Selenium. So in case there is no space, we can work with the class also. ID, name, class name, link text, partial link text, link, sorry, the tag name, and CSS expert. That is the 8 element locator technique available. So that is the way I can store all the links. Okay. So in case I want to get the size, how can I get it? I'll be simply print it out SO the variable, right, dot, there is a method called size. You could see return type is integer coming from the list interface of Java. Now let's try to run it. So how many link is available? So that is the way you can, right, simply use the tag name. So it's open the page, and now you could see it is giving you 25 links. Now in case you want to print out all the links, right, how can you do it? So you need to use a for loop. So right now don't worry about the for loop, in Java it will be covered, right? So this is the syntax for integer, you need to give something I equal to 0, Right now no need to give much focus, just try to understand syntax. It will be covered in Java thoroughly so that you can get the complete idea. I equal to 0, I less than links dot size, then I plus plus, that is the syntax for loop, for loop. Okay, so it will be starting from 0, because in Java it will start from 0, not from 1. That is the reason in case your size is 25, so it will iterate till 24, because it is starting from 0, and I plus plus means it will be iterate for every iteration, it will be incremented. So it will start with 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till n minus 1 size. So if in case you want to print out all the values, but whatever is not in English, that will be in question mark only. So I can give the variable, then because I am using I is a iterator, right? Then for variable and for every I, so dot get of I. For every I want to get the text, because it's a loop. That is the reason you need to use that get of I, get text. So that is the way for every iteration you will be getting the text. Now let's try to run it. It will open the Google page, it will give you the count 25 links, and now it will also print you the how many links is available, right? What is the name, you could see. Other part it will be question mark. So Gmail, images, in blank link might be there, hidden link, right? Otherwise Bengali, English, sorry, Urdu, all this stuff, right? Malayalam, other stuff is not able to understand, because these are the different, not English language. But whatever is English, it is able to print it out. And 25 link, that is the only one option. But now say I don't want to write using the tag name, I want to like click up any link, say. Okay, then how can I do it? So in the for loop you need to use a if loop. If here you can give that same part, right, the variable for every text. So in case my get text, right, for every iteration get text dot equal ignore case. You can use equal, so you have to give exact equal word. In case you are using ignore case, means case sensitive you are using, so you can give any uppercase, lowercase, so that will be still fine. So in case it's matching with Gmail, the text is matching with Gmail, ignoring case. So what I need to do, I need to simply click on that. So it will be get of links dot get of I dot click, because the iteration you are using, that is the reason. Slowly you will be able to understand, but this is a complex program, it might get some difficulty. Dot click. Okay, no worry, we will be covering this kind of stuff again. Okay, now let's try to run it. So what is my objective, right? I will be iterating the loop. Okay, then what I am giving it, like in case the link get of I, for every iteration you will try to check one by one, and as and when the text is matching with Gmail, equals ignore case, means case sensitive part it will simply ignore. As and when it will match, and that will simply click the link, and I can break out the loop. So what it will break out, that will be covered in the Java, then you can understand all this terminology. Okay, here I will give you some hints also, no worry. Okay, so let's see whether Gmail link is getting clicked. You could see now it is clicking the Gmail link. So that is the way it's happening. Now I will try to give you simple example right here. Suppose say you are residing in a society, right? There might be 50 flat, right? And 50 flat you want to find a person called, right, Mr. Das. So that is the unique person. Maybe you do not know his flat number as well. So that is the thing, right? I do not know how many things is there also, right? 50 flat is there. So you'll be iterating from 0 to 49, right, in the real time. So you'll be starting from maybe like top or bottom, then you will be going one by one. Okay, and then you are giving condition, as and when any owner's name, right, ignoring equal case is matching with Mr. right Das, say, immediately you are meeting with him and you are giving the invitation or discussing with him immediately. And after that you are breaking. Why you are breaking? Because you already find that person, then you no need to waste your time, right, to review the other flat, because you already met him. So that is the immediately it will terminate the loop. So that is the way, right, your for loop will save the time. So that is the real time example of this for loop and the condition and the break part. Okay, you'll be slowly more learning in the Java part, no worry. So next session onward, session 3 onward, Java will be covered. Total 4 session will be there from the Java. where you'll be giving lot of more and more clarity. Wherever doubt is there, that will be clear. Okay, so that is the way, right, we can deal with the links, right, tag name, and we can also, right, find out how many links is available in your web page. We can, right, get the details of the links of the link text, as well as based on the some certain condition, right, I can click on the link directly as well. Yeah, I think some questions, somebody raised some hand. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, and yeah, that part you I'll be covering, right? So this is the high level part. Means suppose say whenever for loop will be used, suppose in case you do not know the iteration, right? There is a three kind of loop, actually four kind. Okay, so loop is used whenever you want to iterate, right? Same thing again and again and again based on the different condition. So where your loop will be used. So there are three kind of loop available. There is for loop, then while loop, and do while loop. When you know the number of iteration is fixed, then you can go with the for loop. Whenever you do not know the number of iteration is fixed, you can go with the while and do while loop. And in case while loop condition is matched, then while loop will be executed. But in case condition is not matched but still you want to execute at least one time, then you can use the do while loop. So do and while. So for loop means like, because you want to, right, identify, right, all the link, you need to go through all the link, then that is the way, right, you can use the loop, so that it will be going from 0 and it will be going to the size minus 1 of the link. Your link, total link is 25, so you iterate from 0, right, from starting from 0. It is integer only, because that is the way it will integer, right? That is syntax for then integer variable I variable value equal to 0, and variable value equal to less than size minus 1, n minus 1, I plus plus. It will incremented one by one. That is the syntax. Then here you can print it out, right? For if that is the variable you are taking, that is the variable through which you are identifying through the tag name. Then this variable, right, you will not identify the variable, and because you are iterating with the loop, so that is the reason for every get you are getting the text. Get text method will give you the text of the particular link. So that is the reason, right, we are using, okay, the get text. Yeah, size is the total number of the link, because the link is the variable, right, which is return type is list. It is giving the list of web element, so it is not an integer. So to get it, you need to call the size method. So size method will return you the integer. You could see this is integer, right? Return type is integer, because link is a list of web element, because it is storing all the web element into the list. But that list, from that list, if we call the size method, which is available in the list interface, then you can get the what is the exact number of links count in integer format. So that is the way, right, as and when you are typing it here, right, links dot, right, size. Okay, you could see size, it is coming from the list interface. Return type is integer, because this link return type is list of web element. So it is not like that, it will not give you the exact count. So in case you need to give the count, so that will be covered in Java, no worry. These are coming from Java, right? So from next session onward I am covering the Java, so that you can get all the like clarity. Okay, yeah, any other questions, guys? I told, right, few of the thing might be having some doubt, but once I cover the Java, then you will be giving more clarity. But this two session is important, so that you can give some more practice. That is the reason I did not started Java. Okay, then from session 3 to session 6 it will be Java only. Yeah, tell me. Yes, we need to use the list interface, right? Because the list is the interface right here. Yeah, you could see that is importing, right? Java will utilize the list, right? Otherwise it will not work. Any other questions? All good? Yeah, some doubt might be there, I am telling. So from once the total 4 session is covered, right, you will be getting more clarity. So then you can able to sync it up. Anyway, I will try to give more light as much as possible, no worry. Hmm. Okay, then we will cover as for the session. So what are the operation we can do on the images? So what does it mean by images? Sometime, right, image can be just kind of, there is no link or hyperlink available, just image is a image kind of stuff. So in case there is a no link or hyperlink available, so what are the thing you can do, right? You can get the attribute of the images, means what the image type, right, properties, all this stuff you can get it. In case it is clickable, so you can, right, identify the images, and then you can click it, so that you can, it might open a new page, or you like, or maybe a new window as well, and you can go to that window and then validate it. So images link are the link in web pages represented by an image, which when clicked sometime navigate to different window or page. User cannot use by link text or partial link text method, because images link basically have no links text at all. It is better to use CSS or Xpath. To fetch any attribute in Selenium, user need to use the get attribute method. The method takes the attribute name as a parameter. So this is the Facebook page, some images there, though it is not clickable, but you can get the static behavior. You could see this is the right. How can you understand these images? The tag name will start with img or src always. You could see there is no link text available, right? Then how we can get the images first, identify the images? Okay, so let's go with the Xpath or CSS selector, anything. Let's go with the copy Xpath. So I will try to identify with the default Xpath. So I will be storing in some web element, say Facebook image equal to driver dot find element by dot Xpath, and simply just give it. Let's see whether it's working or not. Sometime it might not work. I will let you know what the challenges might come. That is the reason we do not use the real time Xpath. Now as the images are not clickable, so we can get the right different property with the help of the get attribute method, right? So in the last session I also told you regarding the attribute method, regarding the text field. So similarly also images also you can get the list of different attribute. Okay, so I can use here in the code syso, right? Then this is the variable name dot get attribute. What attribute I want to bring, how many attribute is there? You could see class is there, src is there, alt is there. Suppose I want to print the attribute called alt, the value. Similarly I can get the attribute for the src, or class also you can print it out. Yes, so let's see whether that particular default Xpath is working fine or not. Otherwise it will throw that you're not able to find the element. So we'll create our thing, no worry. Yeah, it's worked, right? So that default Xpath work, but we should not use in the real time default one. So lot of challenges will come, so I will let you know. You could see now what is alt value, right? Alt value is Facebook. Then src is like https static.xx, something like that in scheme here. So that is the way, in case something link is clickable, so we can use click, and definitely it will, after clickable it will open some new window or new web page, right? Then we can use after the new web page is open clickable, we can use the driver.get title. So what is the title of the new web page or the current URL? Then we can match with the expected actual one. That is the reason images we can validate in the real time as well. Okay, after opening, in case the link is clickable, so you need to use if image dot click, automatically it will open the new page, and it will, your browser navigation will be in the new page only. Then you can use driver dot get title or get current URL. It will populate you, or it will give you the current URL, right, of the whatever new window or new page open, and then you can validate the expected actual result using assertion. So that is the real time benefit of this particular images part. So in case any images is there, you can do this kind of operation. Okay. Next two part I will cover, then I will take a pause again. So what are the operation you can do for a checkbox and radio button? So can anyone tell me what is the basic difference? Forget about the coding part. From the UI standpoint, what is the basic difference between UI and XPath? Sorry, XPath and sorry, not XPath, checkbox and radio button. Yeah, exactly like that only. So so thing is that in case it is a radio button, so what you happen, right? There might be 3 or 4 options, but you can only select one option. Suppose say in case selected A, but in case you want to select B, automatically A will be unselected. right, and will be selected. But for checkbox, right, if you click for the first time it will be selected, and if you click for the second time it will be unselected or deselected. But you can check all the checkbox or you can deselect all the checkbox. So that is the primary difference. Okay, so what are the different operations we can do? We can first check whether it's enabled or displayed. It is select enabled, is it selected already by default or not, and then you can click it for checkbox. You can click it to select first time and double again click it for to unselect. But for the radio button, similar way only, displayed and selected, enabled and click. Okay, so I will cover you one thing. So this is the site. Okay, you could see this is the official site of the where you can get the radio button checkbox, Guru 99 demo site. So I will be going driver dot get URL. Okay, so suppose say I want to check, right, checkbox 1. So I can press F12 button here. Okay, radio button part you can try because similar way only. So this is the thing, right? You could see input. So automatically I mentioned, right, any input box, radio button, checkbox, all tag name will start with input. But type here you could see this checkbox. So that is the way from the type or check in tag name you can easily understand by right, by closing your eye also, that this is the kind of properties in the UI. This is the kind of element. And name you could see name equal to waveform. So all name are common. So you cannot interact because all name are common. So you can go with the ID, right? It like VVF-6-0. You can copy the ID, and here in the window you can press Control F, and you can enter it. You could see now it is one match, means the element is unique, and if you press enter you could see, right, VFV-6-0 highlighting that particular element in the left pan. You could see. Are you able to see it, guys? In the left pan it is highlighting that element, right? So that is the way you can know that this is only one element available with that particular ID. So my ID I can use it uniquely. But in case you are new using name waveform, you could see lot of element is there in the waveform. So you cannot identify any element uniquely. So your element locator technique value should be unique throughout your page. Then only it will be your code will work. Otherwise it will be having lot of problem. So what I will do, I will be storing in something called wave element, say checkbox 1, right? That is the way I can define driver dot find element. So this is the by dot id. What is the id? I can give it here. So that is the way I can just simply select it. Now I can print out that different thing, whether first thing is that whether is displayed, dot is displayed, right? Then similar way I can check whether is enabled, dot is enabled, right? Then whether is selected, dot is selected. Then so it will be true here, it will be true here, it will be false because this is not selected. This will be false and the first two will be true. Then what I can do, I can select it, dot click. Now the value as and when I am selecting it, right, it will be true here. Now this value will be true after selected. Here it will be true. And again, now I can again check it. So it will be again deselected. Now again the value will be false. So what I can do, I can give some thread time so that you can understand. (3000 millisecond) I can give it. So I need to either to go with try catch block or surround with some sort of source declaration. I can use exception. I can give some throw time. I will cover it, then I will take the questions here. So what I am doing it, I am going to the site, and in checkbox I am identifying through the unique properties here, ID, right? This is the checkbox, this is the ID uniquely available here, 1 out of 1. Then with the help of that particular, I have stored in some web element. Why it is required, I told in the last day. Suppose say tomorrow it got changed, right? Say 7 hyphen 0. So I can simply update it only one place. So automatically wherever that variable value is called in other code, automatically be impacted. So that is the beauty of creating the reusable component of the variable as well. Then first thing I am checking is disable. It will be true definitely. Displayed is enabled. Yes, it's enabled. It's checked by default. No, it is not. False. Then I am clicking on the checkbox, right? Then it will be automatically selected. Yes. Again I am clicking on the checkbox, so again it will be unselected. So that is the way I can validate it in the real time also. So let's try to run the code and let's see how it is happening. You could see checkbox checked. After 3 seconds it will be unchecked. Okay. So that is the way. Now you can get the desired output here. So first one will be true, second one will be true, third one will be false, right? True, true, false. Okay. Again after selecting it will be true, so it will be coming as true, and after deselecting again it will be false. So that is the way it is coming as false. So now in case you want to right operate for 3 or 4 like checkbox, so you can similar way you can create that variable and you can do the operation. In case it is radio button, so what will happen? Like it's radio 1 say, so you can check that one, like click on that one, and after that in case your thing is getting handed over to the other option, so automatically your option 1 will be unselected or deselected. So that is the different thing between the Xpath and checkbox and radio button. Apart from that, first you need to identify the element whatever operation you want to do, and for you can check for the radio checkbox, you can check whether it's displayed, enabled first, then automatically selected by default or not. In case you're not selected, you can click on that but that particular option or to select it. And if in case for checkboxes, in case for the first time means it will select, second time it will be unselected. For the radio button, right, you can select that option, but in case you are selecting other option, automatically your default the first one will be automatically deselected. So that is the way you can deal with that. And other checkbox and radio button you can try by your own. Any problem like let me know, I'll help you out. Yeah, I think someone raised the hand. Ayanti, yeah, tell me. Yeah, highlight is will be there. So I think some of the code might need to read, right. I will let you know that code. Okay, you can give it a try. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can use try catch block also, but everywhere you every thread time you have to use it. Okay. So you need to suppose say wherever you are using thread time, so you can remove that one. Automatically again the error message will come, right. So you could see you can use by default try catch block. So automatically be surrounded. But every all the try catch block you need to use it. So that is the reason like I do not prefer it, right. Better to go with that exception. So automatically all your thread dot sleep. But in the real time we will not be using the thread dot sleep, right. I told. So here for the debugging purposes, for the understanding purposes, so that you can understand visually that your thing is also operation is happening, right. So that you can get more confidence. Okay. But in the real time, so it will slow your code by 3 seconds. So in case you are having 100 line of code, so automatically you are like you will be just simply investing 300 seconds in 5 minute time. In case your thing is getting failing, it will take additional 5 minute time. So in case your 100 line code is available for 100 test cases, so you are just simply spending like 500 minutes additionally. So that is the reason in the real time, right, we generally do not use the thread dot sleep. But for debugging purposes, for the initial purposes, learning purposes, you can use it. So that is the reason I have covered it. Okay. That question, yeah. Yeah, yeah, right. So we'll be using implicit time, no worry. Instead of thread, right. There is a option, right? Implicit wait, explicit wait, fluent wait, all this stuff. So we'll be using implicit wait, so you can give some timeout called 30 seconds. So automatically, the beauty of the implicit wait is that in case your page is not loading within 30 seconds, then it will throw the error. Okay, so it will wait maximum 30 seconds before throwing the error. Okay, but in case your page is loaded maybe 10 seconds, so but it will not wait for the remaining 20 seconds. Immediately your next operation will be done. So that is the beauty of the implicit time. Yeah, that is the maximum time it will wait. But in case your operation is happening in 1 or 2 minutes, it will not wait for the remaining 28 minutes seconds, right? So that is the way you will be using. So in the Selenium, it will be covered implicit time. No. Yeah, then immediately it will not wait for the remaining second. Yeah, but maximum it will wait for that second. Yeah, I think Samida, you raised the hand. Yeah, tell me. Sorry, which extraction? Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, that screenshot you can take it, na. So that part will be covered. How to capture the screenshot, all this stuff. Okay, and that. That might be possible. I did not check it, but we can highlight the element and then you can capture the screenshot. Okay, because we can highlight it, right? We can write maybe bold it, yellow it, then automatically in the screenshot you can understand, right? So that is the way in the real time. Okay. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? We'll go a little bit slow, okay? Because yesterday was saying that sometime I'm going too fast, so that you can understand. So today's speed is good, guys. But at the end of the day, do not tell me that I go went too fast. Okay, stop me immediately. Okay. Yeah, so initial 4 session will be little hiccup, guys. Okay, whether you have worked in the testing or some automation, but in case most of you are having zero knowledge also, right? So hiccup will be there. So that 4 session, just try to spend that time, go through the recording. Once your setup is done, like progress will be very fast. Okay, quicker. Okay, but initial thing is like setup will be challenges. Okay, because lot of new things coming, right? Thing is getting changed every day with all this stuff, because the Selenium, right? Yeah, browser version, Chrome browser version 116 only came only 1 month back only. Okay, my code was not working. I also surprised. I did not gone through the selenium.dev journal site. That is a site you can refer always to get all the latest information. Okay, and they used to also get some provide for solution as well, how to use it. Okay, but yeah, you. Yeah, right. Yes, always, right? Because unless you are not learning the thing, right? So then you will be stuck. Whenever you want to create a framework, right? You will be stuck every step and will not be getting the thing. But in case you are knowing the in and out, like the minute thing from the scratch, then you can get more and more courage, right? To take that or have a look or to like identify the bug, to debug the thing, right? To fix the problem, all this stuff. So that is the reason this little knowledge will help you, right, to nurture your project or nurture your framework down the line, and be little bit reluctant to work on the framework then slowly. Okay. So that will be your task, like to deal with the other checkbox and other radio button. Okay. So code already written. You can just have a look. The next topics I'll cover how to handle the drop down and like how to scroll up, scroll down web page. Then I will again take a pause. So, in case any kind of drop down is there, right? Suppose say this is the web page where you can use the drop down. So, whatever web page I'll be like, I've been sharing it here. You can use this web page to get all this kind of element. So, that is the reason, right? I have analyzed and this found this element. This is the very common one, like Facebook, Gmail, Reddit, but it is having all kind of right different kind of web element, right? So here you could see a lot of drop down is available: country, city, right, day, month, year, all this stuff. So let's say I want to select something from the country drop down. Okay, so how can I select it? So let's try to change the code first. So you could say, right, yesterday the question was coming how to comment it out. You can use slash star from the keyboard, and at the end of the line star slash. Apart from that, you can use source, selecting the line of code, and add block comment. Automatically your lines will be commented out. This is the features from the Eclipse. So this is the web page I want to first launch, load. Okay, then I want to select any value from the drop down, say country drop down. But drop down you cannot select this way, right? Normal way. Okay, so how can you understand first that this is a drop down or not? So in case it is a drop down or like select box, what happened that field tag name will start with select tag. There is an option called selector. Let's press F12 button here and go to like say drop down India drop down, right? Sorry, country drop down. You could see the tag name is starting with select tag, right? And ID is country, so its ID equal to unique. I already know. Otherwise, you can just try, automatically will fail, and then you can know that this element is not unique. So what you need to do in case it's a drop down, you cannot handle this all normal way. So Selenium is having some features through which you can handle drop down or select box. Selenium already provides select class. There is a class available in Selenium which is select class that has some predefined method for handling drop down, which helps a lot for working on the drop down. To handle drop down and multi select list in Selenium, we can use the following method: select by visible text, select by index, and select by value. So sometimes there can be two type of drop down. One is only we can select only one option, and sometime maybe 1 or 2% case you can find another drop down where it kind of combo box, you can select multiple options at the same time. So in case you are selecting, you can deselect also again, right? Or you can deselect all, but in case only one option is there, you can just simply select by visible text or index or value. So we will be creating that way: select equal to variable equal to new select. Here you can provide the like web element reference. So I will be creating an object for the select class. So this is the select class coming from the Selenium. So select, I can create the object, that is the variable object equal to new select, SELECT, and here you need to provide the driver like object reference, driver dot find element by dot id. What is the id? Id was country, that is the id. Now I already got the like reference of the, you could see now error message is coming. So what you need to do, you need to import the select class from the Selenium, right? Select cannot be solved as a type, so you need to import the select, which will be coming from the Selenium only, Selenium WebDriver. Now what you can do, you can select any option by the visible text or index or value. So indexing will start from 1 2 3 like 0 1 2 3 like that. Suppose say here you could see lot of option like start, what is the first one is India, then Andorra, American Samoa, all this stuff. Suppose in case you want to select Angola by index, so what will be the index for Angola? 0 1 2 and 3. So you can select index 3, automatically your Angola will be selected. So I will be writing the code here: select, that is the variable, dot select by index. So I can select index as 3, so it will select Angola. Then I can give some wait time so that like automatically all the options will be selected. You could able to see one by one. So again I can go with some sort of throws declaration exception. So that is part is done, select by index. Then I can again select dot, right, by value. So how you can get the value here? You can go here, you could see for every option there is a value available, right? This is the value and this is the text, you could see. So in case you want to select say Argentina, so value is 9, but you need to give within the double quote because it is a string value. So if you want to select Argentina, the value should be 9 here. So here I will be in the quote, I will be giving 9, so it will select Argentina. So that is the way you can comment it out. So that is the way you can validate also, it's using double slash. Now again you can use, want to use the last option like dot select, this is the variable dot, right, last one is visible text. So say what is the visible text here? This is the visible text. Suppose this is the text, right? In case you want to select Belgium with the visible text, this is the indexing will be 0 1 2 3 4 like that. This is top to bottom. This is the value for, it will be unique. Value and visible text will be unique, right here. and now you could able to see. So it should be selecting Belgium. So in case your formatting is not good, right, then how can you format your code? So my formatting is not good, like here and there all this stuff is there, but I want to format so that it will look and feel good. Like select everything, go to the source, there is an option like format, control shift tab, automatically your lines of code will be formatted in Eclipse. Now let's try to run the code. So you don't need to worry, you can write your code, after that you can click on simply format, automatically all your line of. Now first thing is that you could see Angola selected from the country drop down. After 3 seconds it will select next option. No, what is problem? Okay, you have given deselect by value. So it will not be deselect, right, because I want to select it. That is the reason. You could see that method is not supported, right? Deselect, unsupported method operation. So it will be select, because deselect part in case it is a any drop down is available where you can select multiple options at the same time, so you can select or deselect it. That is the reason it's available. Now you could see. So that is the way, right? You can debug your skip, right? You may only deselect option of a multi-select. It is giving you suggestion or the problem error description, right? Your code automatically. Selenium is letting you know. So you don't need to worry about that. From the code, if you go through the proper error, you can automatically which line number it is filling. Line number 24 it was filling, right? You could see automatically that line is highlighted. What the problem was there, so you can easily validate it and you can fix the code. Now you can try to run again. Let's close this code. Let's try to run it, save it. So that is the way, in case you are doing some mistake but you are running the thing and you are just able to identify it from the code, you could see able to debug it. Angola selected, after 3 seconds it will select the next option Argentina, because from the value 10, and after 3 seconds it is selecting Belgium from the visible text. So that is the way it is working. So that is the way, right, you can select the option from the any kind of drop down box or the select box. So there are three options. Select by index. Indexing will automatically start from the top to bottom, 0 to size minus 1, right? And if you want to get the size here, okay, so what you can do, I think this way. So what you can do, size, right? I want to get the size. So again, that particular variable I need to do, and the size method I need to call. Dot size. Stir size. No, no, I cannot call it. So first thing is that before getting the size, this is the way I have created a variable for the select class. So there is options available called get option method, through which I need to get all the options, then only I can get the size. In that, for the drop down method, dot get options, you could see the guest option. What is the what from where it is coming? It is coming from the select class. And what is the return type? Return type is list of web element. So I need to store in some list of web element. So I can give some variable name here. Variable name say drop downs, like that. Now I can simply use that variable. I can print it out. So that variable dot size. You could see now it is coming from the list and return type is integer. Now if you are running it, so how many drop down is available, you can get the details, total number of size. So it will work again same way. It will open that one, first select Angola, then it will based on the value Argentina, then based on the right visible text Belgium. And now what is the total number of size? 248 options is available. Okay, in case you want to print out all the thing, you can also print it out. So similar ways you can use for loop for integer I equal to 0, then I less than, right, drop down dot size, because size minus 1, and I plus plus, and here also I need to give SYSO. Drop downs dot for get of I every I, not size. Drop downs dot get of every I and size, right? Get of every I dot get text. Get text is the method for getting the text of the, right, any value or link, any options. Now you can run it. So 248 thing will be displayed here. What are the value is there for the drop down? It might take some time because this is 248 options, but you can able to see all the list drop down. So based on the order it has given, you could see now it is still printing it out, right? Now it's worked. So you could see this is the 248 options. India, American, so no, whatever way it is there, right? Could able to see alphabetical order, and it is ending with the last couple of options. You can also validate. Like last two option is Timor Leste and West Bank, so you can validate it here, right? You could see Serbia, Timor Leste, and West Bank. So this is the way you can validate your code. So for handling the drop down box, there are a lot of method called select by visible text, select by index, select by value. In case you want to get how many drop down is available, you need to use get options. Then you can, once you get the size, you can just iterate it using for loop, and you can get or print out all the right options value. Okay. Yeah, I think someone raised some hand. Yeah, go ahead. Hmm. No, which one? No, no, it is not work. Select will not be like that only. Na? For every element locator type, there will be different methods. It will not be common. So that is the reason I am trying to cover each and every element type. Okay. Yeah. So first let's print it out. Then there you can use the assertion. Okay. So there will be a lot of code you need to write assertion point. Then you can validate that expected. You can give it, and you can store in a list, and you can just validate the true list, right? So once the cover, suppose in that particular list you already know this is the value stored, and you can create your own list. You already know the expected one. So based on the expectation, you can create one list, and then simply you can validate these two lists. Automatically it will match. In case nothing is matched, automatically it will fail, and it will let you know this particular element number 16 there is mismatch. Option A, it was mentioned as A, it was mentioned as coming as B, and also you can get the size right here. You already had the size, so you already know 248, so you are getting 249, so you can also fail it right in the real time. Okay. So there will be assertion from the test change or generate, it will be coming. Simply we can use assertion, assert dot assert equal expected and the actual. In case not matching, it will simply fail it. Assert dot assert equal, we can match with any type data type. It can be integer, it can be float, it can be decimal, it can be string, right? It can be like integer already mentioned. It can be even at array also, right? These are the way we can validate in the real time. So this is the validation point, right? In the framework, like the third part, right? You mentioned, right? It is not only the planning and just writing the script, because your objective is not from the navigation from one step to another step, but you need to have the assertion or validation point for each and every respective step. Okay, so then you will need to apply the test engine or generate assertion, so that automatically your test case will be passed or failed. So in the real time framework, you can able to learn it. So that how that you can implement those assertion. Yeah, Luis. Hmm. Yes, right, right. Yes, right, right, right. Yeah. So the thing is that you can first check. You already know you expect. You will be having some expectation, right? It is your code is behaving to print the actual. But suppose you know your expectation is A, and you can whatever actually is coming as B, you need to map it. And B should be equal. In case it is not equal, it will be failing the test case. Similarly, you are getting the value also one by one, A to Z say, and you also know the expectation, so you will be storing in some string, right, or maybe some the list, because it is a huge number of value, and then you can simply match these two parts. In case any mismatch, any element mismatch, automatically will fail it, and you can get to know that is the failure reason. Yeah, yeah, within the script only. Yeah. In script also you can do it. It will depend, right? In the Excel sheet also you can do it, not be a problem. Okay. Yeah, I mean, best approach is that not in the Excel sheet. Better best approach is that like you need to create some reusable component. Okay, okay, and this reusable component will be using multiple times in number of time. Okay, so you can just hard code this particular part, right? Or maybe you can get the detail from the Excel sheet also. You can store, right? The details Excel sheet. You can create the list from the Excel sheet data also, right? Temporary sheet. Then you can match with the temporary thing with the actual one. Yeah, right. You can write it only one time, because sometimes it can be one time validation, right? You can write it in any of the string format or maybe the other format, right? Yeah, right. But there is no other way, right? In the Excel also it will be long. You have to manipulate 48 option. Okay. In case of 5 option, you can easily write it out, like in the string format or maybe in the array format. Array format, better is. Yeah, yeah, right. Generally, we used to add all this in the array format, and then we used to validate to array. Array is kind of collection of similar type of element. It is similar type of element, right? It is a maybe it is a integer or the string or other stuff. Okay, and then you can value. Hmm. Yeah, any other question, guys? Which true false you are talking about? Yeah, that code is there right here. You could see here. So you could see now it's get checked, right? Because we have sometime maybe used it, right? Whether it's checked or now you could see here true. Okay. So here it is commented out. So that is the reason it is displayed is true. It is mapping here, right? True in the console. Okay. Enabled is true, and is selected is false because I did not select it. Again, it is not selected. That is the reason is false. Now, if you just select it, it will be true. That is the way you can map it with the console. So you can store in some boolean variable, then simply you can validate using assertion. Right? In case you know that your expectation is or what you can do, or you can yeah, already you can able to printing it out. Okay, and you can store in some boolean value, whatever you want to get it. Boolean, say boolean a equal to true or false, like that. Okay, and then you can use the assertion, simply test engine assertion, that whatever a is coming and whatever you can store in some b value, whatever will be, whatever your expectation and whatever is actually coming. Okay, because this will be giving you the boolean only. Yeah, this is the boolean will give you true or false. Okay, suppose say b, right? That is the expectation. A is expectation and b is the actual, and now you can match a and b with the assertion. In case it is matching, it will be passing your test case. In case not matching, it is failing your test case. Similar way all the thing. In case it is string, so you need to store the string variable. In case it is integer, you need to similarly you need to go with the integer, because otherwise there is no point, right? You cannot map integer with the string. You cannot map boolean with the double. You cannot map double with the integer. So similar data types should be there. So this is the data type. So in next third session you can able to get the more clarity on the data type on Java. Any other questions? I want to be more interactive, guys, so that you will be getting more confidence. Okay. So in case other person also asking the question, but that will help you to give you some understanding. That not be a problem. We will extend couple of minutes time. No worry. But let's try to clear the thing, right, thoroughly. Yeah. Test engine will be thoroughly covered. It is having 2 sessions. Okay. Test engine is having only 2 sessions. Only test engine. Everything will be covered. No worry. Okay. So it will be slowly you will be learning it, but few of the topics I will be discussing, so that you no need to like in fear that no, that part will not be like that. So you can just go through the syllabus, na, then you can get more clarity. I also in the WhatsApp group also I have shared the syllabus, right? So you can get to know what other thing will be covered down the line. Okay, chalo. I will go to the next topics, because the two thing is pending, which will take like 45 minutes time, Xpath and CSS. So the last one part I'll covered is how to scroll down. Divert.get. So in the same website I can let you know what is the how can scroll down. So what actually happened, sometime in case you are not able to identify the element, so there might be multiple issue. Okay, generally I am letting you know what are the issue, so you no need to fear. Or sometime interview also I used to ask the question. One issue is that the page is not loaded fully. Second issue is that whatever attribute you have tried to give, that attribute value got changed. Third issue might be like page is not getting fitted right in the first 100% zoom view. You could see whatever zoom Selenium will by default it will try to zoom 100%, but you could see the page is not getting fitted. Sometime it is not fitted right in the any sometime other field also. In case not fitted, it might create some error. I am not saying 100%. In case you are not able to view the element by 100% zoom, sometimes it does not select the element because it is not available in that in the area. So that is the reason we need to scroll down, scroll up, scroll right, scroll left the page, right? So there are three options. We need to use JavaScript interface for that one. So scroll bar allows user to move around screen in vertical or horizontal direction. If the current page scroll does not fit in the visible area of the screen, it is used to move the window up and down. To scroll using Selenium, user can use JavaScript executor interface, which help to execute JavaScript method to Selenium WebDriver. So there are three options. One is scroll by. We can go some pixels. We can use scroll to from the to the bottom of the page, or scroll into view for a particular element. This is the three options available. So right here sometime there will be also a scroll in the horizontal direction also. This is vertical direction. Sometime in some of the page horizontal direction also be there. So you can go top to bottom and left to right. In case horizontal wise it is there also. Okay, so after opening the page, say I want to scroll for some say 100 pixel, right? So what the code is already written, I will not write anything. So first I will be creating a object or instance for the JavaScript executor interface. So JavaScript executor exact name you need to give it first to create a object for the interface. So the interface you cannot directly create an object, so you need to typecast the driver. That is called typecasting. So I need to import the JavaScript user from the Selenium WebDriver. So this is the variable created JS. Then I can use that and scroll into something. Scroll down. Okay. So this is the thing. So this is there is two direction scroll by, right? We introduce exact script you can use it. So it is first one is the x-axis and second one is the y-axis. So x-axis is used for horizontal movement, left to right, right to left, right to that, and y-axis will be used for the vertical movement. In case you are giving positive sign, means 100 means 100 pixel from the top to bottom. In case you are giving negative sign, means 100 pixel like vertically from the bottom to top. And similarly, in case you are giving positive, right, in the x-axis, so it will be left to right that pixel, and in case you are giving negative value, right to left that pixel horizontally. Now let's see the run the code, and let's see. So it should move 100 pixel vertically, sorry, vertically, right, because horizontal wise there is no scroll bar available, so there is no point of writing the code. You could see, yeah, screen is getting moved by 100 pixel. Even I don't know how much thing is there 100 pixel, but that is the code, right? 100 pixels got moved automatically. That is the first one. Second one, in case I just simply want to go to the bottom of the page, right, without any pixel, so what can I do? I can use that one, right, scroll to, and this exact code you can copy it and you can just paste it. Okay, you no need to worry. This is the kind of static code. Okay, now you can just simply run it, so automatically it should go to the bottom of the page directly. Okay, in case it is 3 thing or 4 things there, automatically you could see it is going to the bottom of the page. So that is the second option. And next one, suppose say I don't want to go to the bottom or top or left or right, all this stuff. I want, instead of that, I want to interact with the element, so simply I want to go to the element directly, and then I want to do the operation, right? So you can simply use that one. So before that you need to identify the element one. So error message is there. Suppose say I want to click on that link, right, privacy policy. So you can press F12 button. So you need to first identify the link, and you need to go to that link directly, and then you can click on the upper page, right, or maybe term and condition, suppose say. So you could see starting with link, and this is the term and condition is the text. So you can identify the element using that link text or hyperlink text. So I can store in some web element. Say I can give the name of called element equal to driver dot find element by dot link text, and here you can give the element reference. In case you are giving any other variable name, say like term and condition link, so you need to change it also accordingly. Here this is the web element reference, you need to change it simply, so that automatically it will go to the link, and then that link can be clicked. Okay, I mean whatever object you want to identify, whatever element. In case it is sandbox, right, edit box, you can just simply go to that option and then you can enter some value, so that your script will never fail, right. It will first identify the element after scrolling down, scrolling up, or left right the page, and then it will do the operation. You could see now it is going down and it is clicking, right, that option is clicking, and that is the reason new window got open, term and condition. So that is the way. Yeah. Yes, yes, right. So in case your element is not coming in the 100% fit first, then sometime or in case it is there in the second page, right, after scrolling down, sometime its element might not be clear, sometime it might work. Okay, but worst case it not work, then you have to use the JavaScript execute interface, and then you can work accordingly. So that is the alternate options. Okay, then next two important topics I will cover. So I will first cover the Xpath, and then I will go with the CSS. Okay, this is very guys important topics. Okay, so as of now you already learned, right, like ID name, class name, tag name, like link text, partial link text, as well as default Xpath and default CSS. But sometime default Xpath will not, might not work, or sometime your or ID or thing is there but it might not work. Okay, then what is the solution? So you need to create your own customized XPath. Sometime, right, default thing is not working, Sometime id name class name is available, but that is not working. Sometime some of the situation, right, your id name class name is not available, link text partially nothing is available. So how can you interact with the element? So you need to use Xpath or CS selector. So Xpath is defined as XML path. It is the syntax or language for finding an element on the web page using XML path expression. Xpath is used to find the location of any element on a web page using HTML DOM, which is nothing but the document object model structure. Xpath is a technique in Selenium which allows user to navigate the structure of web page HTML. Xpath is syntax for finding element on web page. Using Xpath in Selenium helps find elements that are not found by locators such as ID, class, or name, or sometimes available, but we think that unique one you are not able to identify the element. So so that is the reason Xpath or CSS plays the pivotal role in UI automation using Selenium. So there are three kind of Xpath available: relative, absolute, partial. So always you should use to relative Xpath. So absolute Xpath is nothing but from the root, right? And you can go to the bottom from the or the element. And partial means you can remove some of the parts, still you are able to navigate. So that is called partial. But relative means whatever static part is there, from where you can go to that root, right, or the object, that is called relative. So relative always start with double slash. So relative Xpath is more likely starting simply by referencing the element you want to and navigate from the particular location. It begins from the current location and prefixed by double slash. Absolute Xpath will start with single slash, and partial is the partial part of the absolute starting with the single slash. I am just giving a real time example. Suppose I am giving the training. Okay, so after 5 years, right, you maybe I am from Kolkata, you are like shifting to Kolkata maybe, or you are coming from some occasion, you want to meet with me. Okay, so what I have given, what you have asked me, you have asked me for my address. Okay, so I have given my address like Kolkata, this is my zip code, this is my flat number, this is my society number, all this stuff. Okay, maybe 7 days back, but you did not let me know, right, that when you are trying to meet me. Okay, so you are coming from Delhi or Bangalore, you are coming to Kolkata airport, you are coming to my cities, you are coming to my zip code, then my street, then my complex, and my flat. Okay, that is called absolute XPath, right, from the parent to child, child. Okay, and then partial means you already in Kolkata, so you no need to travel from Bangalore or Delhi, so you can come to my home directly. But what problem will happen? So you came to my place, right, to my flat, and you found my flat is locked, or maybe my flat is there, right, or maybe my family member is there, but no, I am not in my flat. So you will not able to meet me, right? So that is the problem of the absolute the partial XPath. So that is the reasons I will be using the relative XPath. So what you tell, right? You want to meet me after 7 days, you just take my, and you know that I am residing in Kolkata. Okay, maybe you can come to Kolkata, or and after reaching to Kolkata you can just give me a call to my mobile number, so that I can tell you know that in case you want to meet me at around 130, so like I'll be residing in that particular place or in the hotel or the office, so you can directly come to my office instead of my flat where I'm not available at all, and you can meet me, so there's a less failure chances. That is called relative XPath. Means like confirming from some particular location which will be constant always. But absolute means traversing from the parent to root, right, or the node, which might fails any time. Because suppose say today, right, I am shifted from that Kolkata to Hyderabad, so it will fail. Something got changed, so it might fail. That is the way, right? You need to deal with the relative XPath, absolute XPath, and partial XPath. In the real time, nobody will be using absolute or partial XPath. Always they will be using relative XPath, which will be double slash. So how can you create the basic XPath? Basic XPath contains using or and text and start with. So before going to the XPath, I will let you know some challenges. Okay, sometime you already seen yesterday, right? Some default XPath is not working, or sometime ID name class name is there but it is still not working. So let's go to that ready page here. Let's try to add some value in the full name field. Let's try to identify the full name field. Okay, so what is the name? Name E4A700AC, like that. So I can identify the element and then I can enter some value, right? I already opened the page here. Let's comment out this line of code here. So what I'll do, I will identify the element driver dot find element by dot name, and then I can give the name. So it is a text field, so I can use send keys, then say I want to name Haradhan Pal. My name I want to enter for creating a new Redipo account. Now let's try to run the code and let's see. You could see the value is not getting entered in the full name field. Your cursor is there but is not getting entered, and if you go to the console you will be able to see some error messages coming. Okay, no such element found, right? Exception. Can anyone tell me why it is not happening? No, not working. Because I have given the exact name, right? The email ID, sorry, that name value, whatever is coming here. But why it is not working? Can anyone tell me? What is the issue? Because name field is there, yeah, and no, hold on, and it is also unique, right? Also unique. Yeah, sorry, 1 second. It is also unique, right? One maybe. Oh, it unique, I know. So what the problem is happening? Okay. So the problem is happening next time if you open it, right, page, that name part is common, but that is called dynamic part. That part is getting changed. But your other element locator name, class name, or other like link partial link text, you cannot use that one. You have to use the full one. There is no other option that you can use the partial part or static part. So those like element locator having not having that privilege to use the partial one. So that's the problem. Sometimes name id class is there but which is having some value with static and dynamic component. Dynamic component is changing every time. That is the reason you are not able to identify the Xpath. So that is the problem might come in the real time. That is the reason we have to always try to create our own customized Xpath so that you can try to identify the element uniquely. So this is the way I can create the Xpath. Slash slash tag name, then at the rate attribute name equal to value. Okay, so let's go with the simple example, then we will come here. Okay, so this is the field, right? You could see. Okay, email field, it is a tag name is input, then you can go with name equal to email, id equal to email. So what is the basic syntax for creating the Xpath here? Slash slash tag name. So press Ctrl F, give slash slash tag name. What is the tag name here? Input, put, right? Then what is the other thing? id equal to email, right? Id name or class name or any other event. You can use test data hyphen test drl also, which is royal email. So I can, instead of using id name class name, I can use it also. Any attribute name at the rate attribute name. So I'll be giving third bracket at the rate any attribute name. I can use data hyphen test id, and this is the value of the attribute. Let's try to see whether it's working on data hyphen test id equal to sign within the single inverted comma. You need to give the value and end the third bracket. You could see now one of one element, right? Uniquely one of one. That is your interest. You need to identify the element uniquely, one out of one. Because in case you are able to find 5 or 3 elements, your code might not work. There is a huge 95% chance that you always need to find the element uniquely. So that is the way, and that is the Xpath I have created customized way. No, I did not use never default use default. I never used in my professional life. No. Okay. And 95% time I used Xpath and CSS only with customized one. I used to create. Even sometime ID, yeah, yeah. So in case it is a ID name is there, but still I do not believe them. Right? Sometime it might fail because of the volatile component. So I always prefer Xpath. Yeah, right. Even so, do not have the time. So always I used to create the Xpath, which is one-time activity, and but which will not be changing. Yes, yeah, both the thing is liable, but yeah, some drawback is there. So I'll discuss it whenever I'll be making the differentiate. Some pros and cons also I'll be letting you know. Okay, so this is the way. The next one I will let you know that this is the way we have given created. In case you do not know the tag name, you can give star also here in input, so it will work for all the tag name, but try to give more and more things so that it will filter out the thing, it will be able to create one of one, right? You could still one of one. The next one is, right, in case you was to use multiple thing, right, multiple thing, right, so that sometime in case one person got changed but other person should still constant, so you can use or. So here you can use at the rate like any value or at the rate id say equal to email. You could see one of one. Suppose say tomorrow id got changed but still might be fixed, so you can identify the element one of one. But sometime with any unique attribute you are not able to identify the element uniquely, right? Sometime it might happen because the same attribute is available for most of the case and you are not able to find any unique attribute for all the elements any. So you need to use and means only both condition is matching, then only you are able to work. So we think multiple condition, multiple means two condition, sometime it might be work. So that are the different tricks you need to implement. So you need to first try simple way, but you need to go with the complex way. Okay. Hmm. Double slash, here you could see this is the tag name first. You can give the tag name. In case you do not know the tag name, you can give that slash. But better use the tag name. So what is the tag name? This is the tag name, right? Always input is the tag name. Yeah. Okay. So now let's go here. So suppose say I want to create a thing within the div, right? Let's copy it. Let's paste it in some notepad. Okay. So I'll be creating the Xpath for the mother also, right? Sometime from the mother to child I also need to dig. Sometime I'm not able to create the Xpath for that one uniquely. So I can create something for the parent, right? And I can go to the traverse from the parent to child. So let's create something with that div and class equal to this value, right? This one slash slash div, then third bracket at the rate class equal to first quote the value and you could see one of two element. Why? Because in that parent, right, if you select highlight it, it is highlighting both the portion might be, right, email and password. This is the portion is highlighting. So from the parent I can traverse to the child. How can I traverse it? So this is the parent part I already did, it means the whole section. Now I can go to the child, traverse to the child slash, sorry, that one. Okay, slash input. You could see now one of one, right? That is the way sometime you can go ahead also from the parent to child. Okay, so there are a lot of tricks available. Okay, so you could see from the div class that input only one tag is available, otherwise other tag was there. In case you remove it, you could able to see there is two element, right, one of two, but you need required one, so you can give that way. In case in the input also multiple thing is there, so you can again give the condition right here like that. Okay, add any attribute and the corresponding value. So that is the way you can go from the parent to child also and child to parent, which is more difficult, but this part will 95% 90% problem will be solved. Okay, then another two approach, three approach, I think two or three approaches there, which is called text, and another is called like start with or contents. Text part I will show you. In case it's a link, right, you can create the Xpath using text. In case it's a link or hyperlink, so what you can do, you can use slash slash, then what is the tag name, because for link or hyperlink tag name will be always a, right, anchor link a. So be remember whenever you are using text, so no need to give the at the rate sign, it will be text and then bracket, and you need to give exactly what exact text for the link. And this is the exact text, you can go with that text equal to first bracket no at the rate sign, you could see one of one element, right, one of one. Okay, so that is the way you can create the Xpath for the text one of one. That is the objective, is highlighting the element. Yeah, now I'll go to that site, other site, ready page, where you could see the name, right, it is static and dynamic component. So I cannot give the exact name. Otherwise, again, Xpath creation also same problem will happen, because that exact name will be having the problem. So what I'll go do, its tag name is input, so I will go with the slash slash input tag name, and name is containing the word called name, which is static. So what I can do, I can give something called starts with, right, start with. Then you could see this is the given, right, tag name starts with at the rate attribute equal to the value start value. So I'll be giving first bracket at the rate name, comma, here not sign, equal to sign, and it is starting with name. Need close first bracket, close third bracket. You could see now, right, one of one, right, and with the static part, not the dynamic part. So that is the reason sometimes contents will not work, because using contents you can get multiple value. So this thought process you need to apply it, and as and when you will be creating more and more, you will be having more and more knowledge, and the same knowledge will not come in a single day. Okay, as much as practice you will be doing, you will be able to get that one. Suppose in case of start with, if I give contents, so it can have multiple, because contents means it can be in the middle, it can be in the last, or it can be in the first. But start with means it should be always starting with the first one only. Okay, so now you can give that one Xpath value here, whatever you have created. Here you can change with that, instead of name Xpath, and I can simply give that value. And now let's see whether it's working or not with our own customized Xpath, whatever you have created. Yeah, you could see that Haradhan Pal got entered. Okay, the contents means in the middle or in the last, sometime that word is available, so you can use the contents. But in case you want to start with the starting part, which is fixed, you can always go with the start with. In the middle or in the last part, you can go with the content. So here you can learn, right, how to go from the parent to child, how to go the normal attribute corresponding value, how to use the multiples or and how to create the Xpath with start with, how to create the Xpath for the link using text. So that is the way you can create the Xpath. One Xpath is created, you could able to see one of one, and it will highlight the element. Still, in case you want to double check, copy that Xpath and go to console. Go to console here from the window, and type here $x and the corresponding value. Right here, give $x, give first bracket, within the double quote give the value and first bracket. You could see now it is showing input. If you expand it, just press enter, you could see input field. If you expand it, you could see length is 1, right, so that means unique element. And if you select to the input field, it is highlighting in the left pan, input 185 cross 22 in the left pan, full name field. That is the way still you can validate it even without the control F. You can directly create the Xpath here, right, and you can validate whether the Xpath is correct or not, and it is highlighting the element uniquely. So that is the way you can try to create your customized Xpath, guys. And because until you are not able to identify the element uniquely, you cannot do any kind of code. Okay. Then I will cover the CSS part, then I will take any question, guys, no worry. So similar way, CSS also having the same important. In case your like default Xpath is not working, or maybe in the particular field, right, your ID name class name is not there, or these are there but it's having like dynamic and static component, for which, right, you are not able to identify it, so you can go with either CSS or Xpath. But what is the primary difference? Okay, so CSS, using Xpath you can go from the parent to child and child to parent, but CSS you can go from the parent to child only, not child to parent. CSS is very easy to write compared to Xpath. It is very easy, and CSS is very faster to write. Okay, CSS does not allow to create a selector based on the text content, whereas Xpath allows. So text equal to CSS will not allow. But CSS, apart from contents and start with, there is another option available called end with, which is not there in the Xpath. So that are the primary difference between the CSS and Xpath. Okay, so CSS can traverse only parent to child. Xpath can traverse from the parent to child or child to parent. CSS is very easy to difficult, write compared to Xpath. CSS is faster. CSS does not allow text, which Xpath allows. CSS having content start with end with, but Xpath only content and start with is there but no end with. So that is the primary difference between these two. So CSS selector are string pattern used to identify an element based on a combination of HTML tag, ID, class and attribute. Locating by CSS selector is the most common locating strategy of advanced Selenium user because it can access even those elements that have no ID or name. CSS selector is used by browser to target specific HTML element and apply styles. Okay, so CSS is faster, more readable and often more used. So it will depend, right? Sometimes your organization might let you know that you can use CSS or you can use Xpath, but sometimes some of the thing might not be possible, so you can use that workaround, other workaround. Sometimes your customer says that no, use CSS is very much faster. Some customers say that no, use Xpath because it's having more features like that. So that will depend. Okay, I most of the time I use Xpath, sometimes I use CSS. So no one can suggest anything. So it will be varied based on your organization driven thing. So how can we create the CSS? It's very easy. So in case you know, right, ID. Okay, so how can you create the CSS? HTML has ID. Okay, you could see. So this is the web page, right? This is the thing I want to create. I already know the ID. So tag name, simply, no need to give slash slash also, tag name, then hash. And what is the ID? Email. You could see one of one. How easily I can create the CSS, right? In case I know the ID. Okay, so that is the way you can do it. Now go to the login field, right? You could see this is the class, right? I can create something called class. In button is the thing, button. Then what I need to use in case it's a class, dot, button dot, and you need to give the value of the class. But here the problem will come. I already told, right? In case it is a space is there, you cannot use the class always. So you need to use the part until the space. So in case it's working, then it is fine. Otherwise, it will be you cannot use it. That is the problem. So you can use that part wherever page is not there. But you could see now still with that part I am able to uniquely identify. Okay, so that might work fine with the class. In case you know the class, so it will be tag name dot class name except the space part. So first part except the space, because after ft you could see there's a space available. So if you give complete part, it will not work. That's the problem. So you need to use the part wherever there is no space available. If you give the space, that part sometime work but sometime might not work. Okay, let's give the full path here. Let's see whether it's working or not. Try to give the full path also. Yeah, it is not working, you could see. So till that path, let's see. Yeah, till that part it work, but after that it is not working. If you give the labeling part, it's not working. So till that part it will work. So in case it's able to uniquely identify, then you can go with that one. So that is the simple easiest way, right? You can create the CSS. Then in case you do not have the ID or class name, you can use any attribute. Okay, what are the attributes? Say like name. Okay, type equal to submit. Let's see whether it's working or not. Button is the tag name, then third bracket. Okay, type equal to submit, that is the value, right? Type equal to submit. So there is no @ sign you need to give it, simply attribute equal to value, type equal to submit. Even no need to give, I think, that the single code. You could see it is working fine. So that is the beauty. Okay, and I think it's Xpath CSS will only work for the or part, it will not work for the and. So in case you want to go with the multiple attribute, you can also use it, right? So you can use another one called name equal to login. So in case anything is working, it will work. You could see this is the multiple or. So that is the way you can use or for the CSS selector. Then in case you want to use start with, end with and contents, right? What you can use it. So say I'm going to the ready page again. Let's go something called mobile number field. Okay, you could see the mobile number, right? Name is starting with mob number. Okay, and this is the last value. Okay, So I can create Xpath with the tag is input here. Tag is input. Then tag name. In case it start with attribute, then that particular sign equal to prefix of the string. Right? What is the attribute? Say for the mobile number I want to create. What is the attribute? ID. Right? Or maybe the name mob number. So you need to give third bracket name, that particular sign you need to use equal to, okay, the prefix of the string. What is the prefix here? Mob number. Okay, that you can use mob number. MOBNO. You could see it is working with the prefix part. Okay, in case you was used to use contents, right, you need to use star sign, star. So you can simply change the star. So anything is what mobile number content is working. Right, in case you want to go with ends with, okay, so that last part you need to give. Here it will not work because end with path, that part is volatile. So say other field also, in case there is a end with part is there. Okay, yeah, you could see id that part, right? Id end with is sswd. So here you can give with id here sswd. Content is working sswd 1 of 1. Okay, might be. Or maybe if you give it end with dollar, here you could see contents part it is giving 1 of 2, so it is not working properly. Instead of star you can give it dollar. You could see now 1 of 1. So maybe sswd might be there in the middle or starting, but end with only one variable. So that is the way you need to apply your thought process. Then what you need to use it, start with, end with, or uniquely, like contents, until you are able to identify the element uniquely. So always you need to start, right, find the element uniquely, then you can identify the element, then you can proceed. So these are the different tricks available. Either you can go with the id, class, and right, attribute, in case you go with the multiple attribute, start with, end with, or content for the CSS selector. And for the XPath, you can go with the normal attribute, multiple attribute, or attribute, use contents, you can use text, you can use tag name, or you can go from the parent to child or child to parent also. So I will just recapture the thing. After that I will go for any questions. Okay, so images sometime like might be static one, or sometime there might be some link, so that you can like identify the different attribute of the images. And you can like sometime click on the images, so that it might open a new page or new window, and you can validate that new window title of the current URL, or maybe you can perform some action on the new window or new URL as well. Like operations for checkbox and radio button, so you can first check whether displayed or enabled or selected, and you can click on that. For checkbox, if you select, so it will be checked first time. If you again click on that, it will be deselected for the second time. For the radio button, you can simply select, and if you select the other option, automatically you can, your first option will be deselected. But for the checkbox, you can select or deselect all the options at the same time. But radio button, only one option you can select at the same time. Drop down, right, in case any drop down is there, right, the tag will be always select tag, and you need to use the select class from the Selenium WebDriver, where there are a lot of options available. Select by index, visible text, or the value. And if you want to get all the details, right, you need to use the get options method, so that you can get how many options is available in the drop down list, and you can also print out the value using like for loop and get text method. Sometime, right, in case your page is not fit on the 100% zoom, right, and you are not, you are want to interact some element which is not available in that particular base, right, opening, after opening the page. So some error might be there, right, maybe it will not able to identify, that is the reason, right, though your element locator is correct, but it is not able to interact it after identifying the element. So sometime you need to like you scroll up or scroll down your page, right, so you need to use create object for instance for the JavaScript executor first, then you can use scroll by to scroll down the page for some pixel, you can use scroll to, right, to go to the bottom of the page, or you can use scroll into view to go to a particular element, then you can interact accordingly. So in case sometime, right, you do not have anything, right, maybe id, name, class name, or maybe you are having this one, but those are having some static and dynamic component, or your like default Xpath is not working, then what is the way solution, right, to identify the element first? So you need to use either create your customized Xpath or CSS. So CSS is much simpler and it is taking less time. Okay, Xpath you can go from the forward to reverse axis. Yes, where CSS only you can go from the forward to reverse, but reverse to forward is not possible. From the child to parent is not possible in the CSS, which is possible in the Xpath. In Xpath, like you can use the text, which is not possible in the CSS. In Xpath you can use only start with and contents, whereas CSS you can use start with, end with and contents as well. So Xpath is nothing but the XML part. So relative XPath is nothing from the starting from the particular thing which will not be changed much, whereas absolute means from navigating from the parent to child node, and partial means like without removing some of the part you can still able to recognize the element. But in the real time you should always go with the relative XPath, which is starting with the double slash. Absolute and partial will always start with single slash, but we will not use them in the real time. Okay, you can use tag name and the attribute and corresponding value. You can use contents, you can use and on or operation, you can use text for the Xpath. Similarly, in case of CSS selector, you can use like id, class or any attribute. You can go start with any content, you can use multiple symbol as well. So that are the different thing, right? I have tried to cover in today's session, guys. Thank you.